the school cafeteria manager, relying on his ties as the principal's relative, treats students like animals just to make money. This is called cost control, baby. Besides, as long as it doesn't kill anyone, it's fine. When you grow up and can only afford cheap takeout, you'll come back and thank me. The chicken legs in the cafeteria are older than my great-grandma. Meatballs made entirely of fat cost $8 each. No amount of heavy seasoning can cover up the foul stench of the duck meat. When we went to confront him, he simply brushed us off and said, "We work so hard every day to cook you meals that look and taste great, and you're still complaining about this and that? Have you no shame?" I really couldn't stand it anymore. I led my classmates to flip over the cafeteria food trays. Look, everyone, they're using expired zombie meat. How can this be safe for us to eat? Exactly. I get an upset stomach every day I go home. My dad even beat me up, saying I just didn't want to do my homework and was faking it on purpose. Yeah, I feel like throwing up every time I eat. At first, I thought I just had a poor appetite lately. I used to be able to eat anything, but I've actually lost weight recently. Exactly. I've even stopped growing recently. The principal called my parents over and ordered me to apologize. Look at what your child has done. Is there any justice left? Is there any law? How do you normally educate your child? It's the parent's fault if the child misbehaves. This is a school, not a place for your child to run wild. I pay so much for my child's meals every month. And this is what you show me today? This is what you feed my son. You'd better eat every last bit of this today. Don't leave a single grain of rice. How should I educate him? Honestly, the food in my high school cafeteria has only one difference from crap: it doesn't kill you. It's so disgusting that if you throw it to a dog, the dog would take a sniff and shake its head, then turn around and go eat crap instead. The frozen chicken legs are the same age as my great-grandma. If I don't bow 3 times before eating them, I'd be labeled as disrespecting the elderly. A classmate took a bite of a chicken leg and suddenly burst into tears. Crying uncontrollably, he choked out. I suddenly awakened my memories from before I was 3. I was still very young then. And I remembered that summer. My great-grandma thought I was too skinny, so she killed a chicken and stewed it for me. I ate half of it, and she put the other half in the fridge. If she were still alive today, she'd definitely think I brought that other half of the chicken to the cafeteria. If they stewed these chicken legs with eggs, who knows, this great-grandma chicken and its great-grandson egg might just reunite in the same pot. An 8th-generation reunion. The braised pork is made from pig nipples. It was that same classmate. He took a bite of the braised pork and started crying again. I never thought I would find my childhood memories in a pig. My mom stopped producing milk shortly after I was born. My great-grandma somehow got her hands on some pig nipples. Right. You are what you eat. I'm really not a picky eater. When I was a kid and my mom went on a business trip, my dad brought back a bag of pig feed bran. Son, this is the imported oatmeal your dad brought you. Eat a bowl every morning. I happily ate it for over half a month, without a single complaint. But look at this stuff. Fried dough twists with cucumbers, century egg stewed with dragon fruit, braised strawberries with mooncakes. If you fed this to a pig, the pig would start a rebellion. I used to think the cafeteria chef's first career choice was to be an alchemist, which made them act like a crazy matchmaker, pairing up random ingredients. Later I found out that all these dishes were just expired waste from the food factory next door, thrown into a pot and cooked together. Survival of the fittest. Natural selection. That's the law of the cafeteria. You ask how I know? Because I bit into a trademark tag again. Let's talk about the standard free soup in every cafeteria. The blackboard said, "Today's soup was seaweed and egg drop." But when I peeked into the pot, there was no seaweed and no egg drops, not even a trace of them. It was literally like gazing into the abyss. If you didn't know better, you'd think they just put a pot of hot water there to serve students plain boiled water. Maybe the technical guidance for the soup came from some instant noodle factory. 1 egg can be used for 3 generations. The people are gone, but the egg is still there. I finally found a tiny strand, a floating seaweed in a hidden corner. I scooped it up and looked. And oh my god! It was a freaking strand of hair. But wait, it's so thick. And so curly. It doesn't seem like regular hair either. With this length, maybe it's from a perm? Wait, no! The cafeteria chef is bald. Sometimes I also wonder, the school must have its reasons for doing this. For example, when I eat a foreign object in my veggies now, I can identify it just by its texture. Soft and bouncy means it's a bug. A bit harder means it's steel wool. Once I bit into something neither soft nor hard, with a rough, granular surface. I spit it out and studied it with my roommate. It might be a bean sprout, or a moldy grain of rice. No, this is definitely a roach egg. I got it. His cooking skills were taught by a biology teacher, combining education with food. The academic atmosphere is incredibly strong. If he were born a few hundred years earlier, the author of the Book of Insects would definitely be my alumni. Faber wouldn't even stand a chance. It's not like we never complained, but the cafeteria manager is the principal's relative. Complaint letters flew into the suggestion box like snowflakes. The principal decided to make the changes. First, he tightened control over the suggestion box. Then he gave a speech on the playground. Every single one of you is spoiled. During hard times. How many people got into college eating just steamed buns and pickles? Only by enduring hardships can you rise above the rest. Since we couldn't mess with them, we tried to find workarounds. For those of us living on campus, we either went out to eat or asked day students to bring takeout. The cafeteria manager first used food safety as an excuse to drive away the food stalls at the school gate. Then he started searching every day student's bag. Any food found was confiscated. You students are getting totally out of line. Do you think this is some snack street? You refuse the delicious food in the cafeteria and eat this junk food instead? Don't be fooled by how clean this stuff looks. It's actually filthy. Even though it tasted all right, it definitely wasn't that clean. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. These vegetables definitely didn't come from proper channels. I just picked these from the field this morning and brought them straight to you. I know you only want fresh vegetables. Even if your vegetables are fresh, they definitely haven't been disinfected. They're full of pesticide residue. Who are you saying uses pesticides? We are honest vegetable farmers. You slander me, I'll beat you to a pulp. We had no choice. We were forced to eat instant noodles for over half a month. I even dreamed about braised beef noodles at night. As a result, I now gag whenever I smell instant noodles. It makes me sick. One night, I was tossing and turning in my dorm bed, unable to sleep. I was so hungry my stomach acid was acting up, and my mouth tasted bitter. My mind was full of my mom's braised pork knuckle and mushroom egg fried rice. I chewed on my blanket until it was covered in drool. I couldn't take it anymore. Are we just gonna let ourselves starve to death? Do we want to live hungry or risk dying for food? I found out my roommates weren't asleep either. Hearing my words, their fighting spirit was ignited. How can we endure this? I want a decent meal. You three stay in the dorm to cover and handle the dorm manager's inspection. We'll sneak out and buy food. Alright, be careful. Our stomachs are depending on you. At past 11 p.m., I took two roommates and sneaked out over the wall. We arrived at the snack street. There used to be quite a few vendors here, but now they were all driven away. One roommate squatted on the empty street, clutching a plastic bag. It still smells a bit like duck blood vermicelli soup. Want a sniff? You can imagine the taste. Then I noticed someone even more pathetic. Another roommate was staring at a trash can, his eyes glowing green. He looked so intense that stray cats thought they had a rival. We had no choice but to keep searching, hoping to get lucky and find an open restaurant. But on the way, we bumped into our homeroom teacher. He grabbed us and pulled us into the woods, telling us to hurry back to the dorm. What are you doing outside in the middle of the night? Did you sneak out to the internet cafe again? And so blatantly too. If the security catches you, I'll have to bail you out again. Our school has a strict closed campus policy. Boarding students can only go home once a month. The school is in a remote area with almost no houses around, and security guards patrol 24/7. Anyone caught going to an internet cafe is expelled immediately. The school is practically a prison. And the principal is the supreme emperor here. Mr. Joe, you've got it wrong. We're just so hungry. We just wanted to sneak out for a bite to eat. Didn't you guys go to the cafeteria for dinner? Listening to his nagging, I was so hungry my vision blurred. My legs gave out and I couldn't stand straight. Suddenly, I slumped onto the ground. Seeing this, our teacher took us to his house. Old Joe, you're back. I cooked some noodles. Eat it while it's hot. The teacher gestured for us to eat. I immediately grabbed some chopsticks, picked up the noodles and stuffed them in my mouth. The noodles slid in, and the boiling hot broth scalded my throat. My stomach protested the heat, wanting to send it back up. But my brain issued a supreme override command, and I forced myself to swallow it down. Our teacher had just taken off his coat. Slow down, you guys. Before he even finished speaking, we had already devoured the noodles. Finally, 3 pairs of pathetic eyes looked toward his wife. She chuckled, walked into the kitchen, and turned on the stove. As soon as a dish hit the table, we demolished it. Chopsticks clattered against bowls nonstop. The plates were licked so clean they didn't need washing. Halfway through, our teacher rolled up his sleeves and went into the kitchen too. By the end, all 3 of us had round, stuffed bellies. Thank you, Mr. Joe and Mrs. Joe. You are literally our lifesavers. Wiping his sweat and panting, our teacher said, your families aren't so poor that you can't afford to eat. What did you do with your living expenses? It's all here. We haven't spent a dime. We're really not being picky. Lymph node meat stir-fried with rotten peppers. Tomato stir-fried with more tomatoes. Even the rice is undercooked. If you planted it in the field, it would grow rice shoots. Sigh, I know the cafeteria food isn't great, but I didn't know it had gotten this bad. We consider ourselves lucky this time. The other students can only go home once a month to have a proper human meal. Before we left, his wife packed a few boxes of food for our roommates. Be careful. Don't let the security and dorm manager catch you. Tears of emotion welled up in my eyes. During the long break the next morning, Mr. Joe suddenly appeared at the front of the classroom. I saw my classmates draw the curtains and close the door. Okay, then he mysteriously pulled out a backpack. As soon as he opened it, the smell of meat filled the classroom. Looking closely, it was a whole backpack full of meat buns. The whole class cheered with joy. Mr. Joe quickly shushed us. Keep it down. Don't let the school administrators hear. I brought you 60 fresh meat buns. Everyone come get 2. They were piping hot and steaming, glistening with oil on the surface. The dough was soft and chewy. One bite and the savory broth slid down my throat into my stomach. It was so good we licked our fingers. At this moment, no one spoke. Everyone treated this hard-earned delicious food with the utmost reverence. Mr. Joe leaned against the podium, watching us eat with a smile. His eyes were full of affection. After that, Mr. Joe would occasionally bring us good food. He often used the last 30 minutes of the evening self-study session to let us draw the curtains, put our desks together, and eat the hot meals he brought. Finally, we'd clean up everything, take the trash out in batches, and throw it into different trash cans around the school. The whole class tacitly guarded this happy secret. One night during self-study, I was chatting with Mr. Joe. Haha. You guys are so cute when you eat. Like a flock of chirping little sparrows. Mr. Joe, we've discussed this. Please take this money for the food. We can't keep letting you pay out of pocket. Oh, these few meals don't cost much. Don't worry about this. Just focus on improving your grades. That's the best reward you can give me. However, there are no secrets in this world. The fact that Mr. Joe brought us food eventually reached the ears of that despicable cafeteria manager. That noon, we waited quietly in the classroom for Mr. Joe, but he never showed up. Didn't he say this morning he'd bring us something good? And to come back to the classroom early, I waited until it was 30 minutes past our agreed time. And there was still no sign of him. I went out to look for him. After searching around, I saw him in the hallway. Under the scorching sun, he kept bowing with his head down. Standing in front of him was the cafeteria manager, looking at him with contempt, yelling and cursing loudly, spitting as he spoke. My teacher is almost 50 years old, and he was being scolded like a primary school student by that fat jerk. My anger flared up instantly. I clenched my fists tightly. I heard that fat jerk say, I've never seen a homeroom teacher as shameless as you. Instead of focusing on their studies, you're sneaking extra meals for your students. If there's a food safety issue, can you take responsibility? The kids are at a growing age. They get hungry easily. If they don't eat enough, they have no energy to study. If they're hungry, they'll come to the cafeteria to eat. None of your business. Are you a teacher or a cook? Do you want me to give you a job here? I'm sorry. We know we were wrong. But look. The food is already made. Just let them have it this last time. I promise. This is the last time. Screw that. That fat jerk snatched the bag from Mrs. Joe's hands and smashed it hard onto the ground. The milky white broth spilled everywhere. Mrs. Joe let out a cry of distress, her face full of heartbreak as she knelt down to try and save it. But the fat jerk stepped on the lunchbox first, stomping on it forcefully. You want to eat? I'll give you something to eat. Eat crap. You're taking this too far. The kids just wanted a decent meal. So what? Hit me, come on, hit me. Apologize to my teacher right now. I struggled fiercely, but Mr. and Mrs. Joe held me tightly. HMPH. Is this the student you taught? He doesn't look like a student at all. What a great teacher producing a great student. Say one more word. I dare you. The fat guy walked up to me, his face dark. Say it again. Just as I was about to speak, Mrs. Joe covered my mouth and dragged me outside. Mr. Joe quickly stepped forward to block me. He's just a kid. Don't stoop to a kid's level. Get the hell out of my way. Let me go. I have to knock that guy's teeth out. He has the principal backing him. We can't win. Win or lose. Are we just going to let him bully us like this? Can you swallow this anger? Sigh, your teacher is about to retire. Do you want him to get into trouble at this critical moment? You'll be in 12th grade next semester. You need to study hard and get into a good college. That's your teacher's only expectation of you. I know you're a good kid. Listen to me, you still have a long way to go. It's okay to take a step back. Seeing Mrs. Joe's exhausted face, my nose tingled with sadness. She was right. We were the ones who got Mr. Joe into this. I couldn't let him get dragged down anymore. So even if I wanted revenge, I could only do it in my own name. I'll listen to you, good. She watched me go back to the classroom. I returned to my seat and noticed my classmates were unusually quiet. I didn't think much of it, just waiting for time to pass. An hour later, I figured Mrs. Joe and the teacher had left. I immediately got up, ready to head to the cafeteria. The moment I stood up, the whole class stood up too. I looked at them in confusion. What are you guys doing? We saw it too. Mr. Joe got scolded because of us. We have to vent this anger together. Want to be a hero all by yourself? No way! Count me in at that moment. I just felt a rush of hot blood to my brain. I felt a surge of heroism, reaching to the sky. What's the big deal? If we die, we die. Who the hell is afraid of him? Let's go smash that damn cafeteria. Let them know what we're made of. Our group rushed furiously toward the cafeteria. It was noon, and there were still many students eating. Seeing us marching in aggressively, everyone looked over in surprise. 1 green pepper and pork, and 1 tomato and egg. Hey, did you hear? The PE teacher hooked up with the music teacher again. Ha ha ha. The lady at this window was chatting happily with the person next to her, resting on her ladle. Hearing my order, she scooped into the food without even turning her head. Then she shook the ladle until only a few slices of green pepper were left, before dumping it onto my tray. The whole process took less than a minute. She didn't even bother to look back once. She kept talking, spitting everywhere. Not even wearing a mask. I stood still, waiting to see when she'd remember she was actually at work. After a while, she finally noticed something was wrong. Are your legs broken? Why aren't you leaving? Do you need me to borrow a wheelchair to push you out? I pointed at the few slices of green pepper on my tray. What kind of green pepper and pork did you serve me? Are you blind? Open your damn eyes and take a look. Where is the meat? You little brat, watch your mouth. Who is your homeroom teacher? Which class are you from? Tell your teacher to come see me. You hear? Who do you think you are? Do you even have the right to see my teacher? What's wrong with students nowadays? You have no manners at all, do you? I'm standing right here. You better explain yourself clearly. At the end of the day, she's just an employee. Throwing her weight around is one thing. But if she had to actually hit a student, she wouldn't dare even if you gave her 100 times the guts. At this point, the uncle next to her came over to smooth things over. He grabbed the lady's ladle. Oh my! Why are you young people so hot-tempered? It's just a few pieces of meat, right? No need for all this. Saying that, he dug through the food, flipping it over until he finally found a few dry pieces of meat, and put them on my tray. Go on, go on. Don't block the way here. I ignored him. I raised my hand, and my deskmate behind me handed over another food tray. I swiped my meal card again. The two of them sensed something was wrong, and asked warily, what exactly do you want to do? I want to eat. What else would I do? Didn't you already get a portion? Is it your business how many portions I eat? The uncle gritted his teeth and served me another portion. Maybe he was a bit scared, because his hand stopped shaking. A chronic illness cured in an instant. This time I didn't argue about the amount of meat. I raised my hand again, and a third tray was handed over. Green pepper and pork. The uncle finally realized we weren't here with good intentions. This time he refused to serve it. At the same time, he gave the lady a look. The lady walked toward the back kitchen. Are you deaf? I want to order food. Green pepper and pork. You brat, I've put up with you long enough. At this moment, the lady returned with the cafeteria manager, both out of breath. Yes, they are causing trouble. Why is it you again? What exactly do you want? What else would I do at the cafeteria? Did I come here to take a dump? Didn't we already give you your food? Take it and get out. I casually poked around in the food and quickly found something that looked like a rat's head. I picked it up with my chopsticks and showed it to him. He looked me in the eye and lied, insisting it was a duck neck. It's a duck neck. Then you eat it. A whole duck neck, just for you. Open your mouth, open your damn mouth. Do you have a death wish? Trash will always be trash, never learning manners. Just like your teacher, you're all pieces of garbage. Hearing the fat jerk insult Mr. Joe again, my anger flared up once more. Then I forcefully suppressed the urge to hit him. Even you wouldn't dare eat the food you make. How do you have the nerve to serve it to us? The fat jerk froze in place. Seeing he had no reaction, I grabbed the food tray from the table and smashed it right into his face. Then what the hell were you barking about earlier? With a loud crash, the classmates who had been holding it instantly exploded. Smash the food bins, smash the trays, flip the tables, flip the tables. Our pay rep jumped onto a dining table and yelled. Who are they kidding with this food? They don't treat students like human beings at all. This kind of crap. I've had enough. As soon as he said this, the response was overwhelming. Students from other classes also stood up, grabbing their food trays and throwing them at the serving windows. The serving windows were smashed to pieces. We were teenagers full of raging hormones anyway. Add to that the long-standing resentment. All our old and new grudges erupted at this moment. The few cafeteria ladies, who usually glared at us coldly, how could they dare stand up to the angry crowd? They immediately took off, running faster than rabbits. We were unstoppable, and quickly took over the cafeteria, smashing pots and throwing pans, throwing bowls and breaking the stoves. It was an ocean of total chaos. That fat jerk got slapped to the ground by me. Are you rebelling? I will make your whole family suffer. I grabbed him by the collar and gave his fat face a flurry of slaps. At 16, I was at my peak in both physical strength and intelligence. I had endless energy, and I beat him up so bad he couldn't fight back at all. Since he couldn't win, he cursed even louder and dirtier. You uneducated brat. You'll just be a reject when you enter society. Tell your parents to raise a new kid. I found him too noisy, so I grabbed a handful of some random food and stuffed it into his mouth. He refused to eat it, so I used both hands to force it down his throat. You don't even dare to eat the food you make. How do you have the nerve to give it to us? That fat jerk gagged and threw it all up. Now I was even more curious. What exactly was the food they were making? Just then, someone called my name. I looked up and saw the pay rep and the class monitor running over carrying a huge soup pot. I dodged to the side, and they directly dumped it over the fat jerk's head. You fat jerk, we've had enough of you. Can't stand you acting so arrogant. So what if you're a relative? What can you do? Call your principal daddy to save you. Just as we pulled the pot off, countless vegetable leaves flew at him from all directions. I reacted quickly and dodged to the side, narrowly avoiding friendly fire. The fat guy finally realized he had sparked public outrage. He didn't even dare to curse at us anymore. I yield to you guys. I'll change. Is that enough? The school's response was also very fast. More than 10 security guards rushed into the cafeteria, holding megaphones and shouting, "Stop!" Several school administrators also hurried over. Leading them was the elusive principal, who rarely showed his face. At the end of the day, students were still afraid of the principal. Everyone stopped what they were doing. When the fat jerk saw the principal, it was like a dog seeing its master. "Let me go, don't hit me." Looking at the fat guy covered in rotten vegetable leaves, the principal frowned. What's going on here? Who started this? I did. Do you have any idea what you're doing right now? I know. I'm defending my right to eat. What? I glanced around, found a food tray that hadn't been knocked over yet, scooped up a spoonful of the foul-smelling duck meat, and held it up to the principal. So this is your excuse for rebelling? Did you treat my speeches like they meant nothing? If you can't even endure this little bit of hardship, what can you possibly do in the future? Society won't spoon-feed you. When you enter society, what can you even do? What can I do? I can do exactly what the principal does. Leave all the hardships to the students, and put all the profits into my own pocket. You! Fine, very good. Which class are you in? Who is your homeroom teacher? HMM? I know who his homeroom teacher is. I just taught him a lesson this noon. I didn't expect him to hold a grudge and organize students to smash the cafeteria. Saying that, he picked up the phone to call our teacher to the cafeteria. "Hello, Mr. Joe, come to the cafeteria and see your students. Look at the great things they've done. These brats are out of their minds. You need to deal with this. I did everything here. I'll just drop out. This has nothing to do with my homeroom teacher. I couldn't tell you were so loyal to your homeroom teacher. Now I'm actually a bit curious. Which great teacher could produce such a great student like you?" Mr. Joe was quickly called over. "Mr. Joe, come look at the fine mess your students made." Mr. Joe was startled by the mess all over the floor. He pulled me aside and whispered, "What did you guys do?" "I did everything. If anyone gets punished, let it just be me." "Mr. Joe, your students are quite impressive. Smashing the cafeteria today. Are they going to smash the school tomorrow? There must be a misunderstanding here. They are not bad kids." "Principal, please let me explain. There must be a reason for this." "HMPH, a reason for this? What a great reason. So if they smash the principal's office tomorrow, can we also say there must be a reason for this?" "Mr. Joe, you are a veteran teacher. I usually respect you a lot. You'll be retiring in a few years. Don't do something foolish at a time like this. I'll leave the decision to you this time. Your students have done something like this. How should they be punished?" He was actually using this to threaten Mr. Joe, just as expected. I didn't want to put my teacher in a tough spot. "Quit yapping. I'll just drop out. You old geezer barking on and on here. So annoying. Is this the student you taught?" Foul-mouthed. No manners of a student at all. Mr. Joe, who had been keeping his head down earlier, suddenly puffed out his chest, looked the principal straight in the face, and said slowly but firmly, "I think he's right." "What did you say?" No, I didn't mean the part where he said you were barking. I didn't mean that. Principal, food is the most important thing for the people, especially at an age when they are still growing. Not letting the children eat properly is indeed a very unacceptable thing. You saw it too. The food they make is just terrible. To put it bluntly, even a dog wouldn't eat it. And it's been like this for a long time, so it's totally normal for everyone to feel angry about this, isn't it? Yeah, just now when it was given to the principal, even the principal wouldn't eat it. Everyone burst into laughter. The principal's face turned extremely ugly. Fine. Your days as a homeroom teacher are over. And all of you bad students, don't even think about getting away. Whoever else started this, step forward. I'll have your parents come pick you up. None of you will study here anymore. Our school has no room for you VIPs. Count me in. As the principal of a school, you practice nepotism, confound right and wrong, and can't even maintain basic fairness and justice. Why would anyone want to stay in a school like this? I'm out of here too. You two colluding scumbags, lining your own pockets. I don't even care anymore. I was planning to retake the year anyway. If this place doesn't want me, another place will. More and more hands shot up into the air, stretching as far as the eye could see. At that moment, I had an illusion. As if I were standing on a battlefield, dark clouds looming over the city, war drums beating. The legendary invincible Demon King had arrived at the gates, but the weakest held hands, forming a human wall, shouting in unison. Who says we stand alone? We stand united. Everyone's faces were filled with excitement or righteous anger. In contrast, the principal's face looked extremely grim. He looked at us in sheer disbelief and stayed silent for a long time. Finally, he pointed at the few of us who stepped forward first and said, "I'll have your parents come right now to take you home." My parents were the first to arrive. You little brat. I heard you got into a fight. Did you win? Can you be serious for once? Then I saw a tall figure rush over like a gust of wind. He grabbed my shoulders and checked me over from head to toe. Did you win? Are you hurt anywhere? Since I was little, my dad taught me, if someone bullies you, hit them back. A wise man doesn't take a loss lying down. I shook my head. My dad sighed in relief, but his face changed at light speed. He started unfastening his belt while pointing at me. You brat. I sent you here to study, and you dare get into fights. Do you care about your studies at all? This routine was too familiar, seeing that a beating was inevitable. Mr. Joe stepped in front of me. You can't entirely blame the child for this. My dad blinked. What happened, teacher? What did he do? Did he start dating skip class? Or get into a brawl? Stole something, hit a teacher? Never mind. It's definitely nothing good. I'll give him a beating first, that can't go wrong. Get over here. Just then, the principal coughed twice. My dad glanced back at him and ignored him, ready to discipline me again. It's because the school's food is too terrible. The kids couldn't swallow it. We just voiced a complaint. But we didn't expect it to end up like this. Holy crap, you smashed the cafeteria. Do you have a death wish? 3 days without a beating and you're tearing the roof off. Get your butt over here. I'm going to skin you alive. It's really that terrible. How bad could it be? I think you're just making excuses. Get over here. Whose parent are you? Can't you see I'm educating my kid? So annoying. This is the principal. Oh, Mr. Principal, are you not feeling well? Seems like you've caught a cold recently. If your throat is dry, I have a great home remedy from my hometown. I'll send you some later. Guaranteed to work. No need your gifts. I can't afford to accept. I called you here this time, just to have you take your precious son home. Please choose another high school. Our temple is too small. It can't hold a great deity like him. Hurry up and apologize to the principal. Principal, we are so sorry. We will pay for everything here. The child is too ignorant. We've made a fool of ourselves. The principal raised a hand and interrupted my mom. I stubbed my neck out stubbornly. I won't apologize. We were eating garbage and you dare talk back. Just how bad is it? Could it be worse than the pig feed brand your dad got you? Earlier, the spoonful of rat head duck neck I tried to feed the fat guy was still resting nearby, so I casually picked it up. I pay $1,000 a month for meal fees. And you just feed us this? Wait. How is this possible? I used to complain at home that the school cafeteria food was bad, but he just thought it was my trick to avoid going to school and didn't believe a single word of it. Then you guys come with me. What is he going to do? I led them further into the cafeteria, seeing things take a bad turn. The fat guy and the principal stopped me and said, if the food doesn't suit your taste, everyone should just let it go. At this time, some other parents had gradually arrived. Then let us see whether it's the cafeteria's problem or the student's problem. Misunderstanding. It's really a misunderstanding. We've always followed the rules. Listen to me explain.
But our PE rep and the class monitor were already carrying a food tray each, huffing and puffing as they ran over. One tray had pitch black eggplants that looked like cement. The other was green peppers stir-fried with tofu skin. The green peppers were blackened, with bug holes clearly visible on them. How is this any different from a slop bucket? The only difference is this isn't served in a bucket. My dad frowned and poked at the eggplant, bringing a dead fly into the light of day. This is an extremely rare incident. Please don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand. But even so, wasting food is still wrong of them. Who are you? Me? I am the cafeteria manager. You have the nerve to say the kids are wasting food? Cooking food like this is the real waste of food. This crap is worse than what I feed my dog. You feed our kids this stuff. No wonder they rebelled. Who could possibly eat this? It's the 21st century. And you're starving kids? This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Mom, I'm hungry. I never get enough to eat here. And I don't sleep well. I want to eat your braised pork. I'm really so hungry, Mom. This sentence awakened the maternal instincts of all the mothers present. My mom's eyes instantly turned red. So we followed suit. And all tearfully complained to our parents. For a moment, the entire cafeteria echoed with sorrowful cries. Ah. The fat jerk saw that the mood was turning against him and prepared to sneak away. I pointed at him and said, "It's him. He forced us to eat this. And you even hit me." My dad charged forward and delivered a swift kick. "You hit my son?" Then my dad got on top of him and unleashed a flurry of punches to his face. He truly is my biological father. Even our fighting stances were exactly the same. When the other parents realized what was happening, they swarmed him too. A punch here, a kick there. As for the principal over here, he was still trying to act tough, saying, "This is all to cultivate the student's endurance." Bullshit, you call this endurance? Look closely, this is practically eating crap. The shady business going on here, I'm afraid endurance can't explain it. How about this, make the cafeteria's financial records public? Damn it, I just don't believe that a $1,000 meal fee per person a month could be entirely spent on this garbage. We need to audit the finances. Otherwise, I'll report this to the Education Bureau. Hearing the Education Bureau, the principal's face noticeably changed. He no longer had his arrogant look from before. I'm sorry. It was my lax supervision. I'll reflect on this, I promise. I will fire him immediately. The cafeteria staff will be replaced. I'll conduct regular spot checks. I promise this kind of thing will never happen again. Promising now? Where were you before? Didn't you say it was about endurance? Fine, you take the lead. Eat this first. Then I'll consider forgiving you. Our PE rep, quick on his feet, grabbed a bowl of dusty-looking rice and handed it over on the spot. Why is it this color? I swept it off the floor especially for you. He doesn't deserve to eat from the pot. Facing the angry parents slamming their hands on the tables, the principal. Actually, this is made pretty well. Ha ha. Ha. The principal gritted his teeth, closed his eyes, and took a bite. Munch, munch, munch. Why can't I chew it no matter how hard I try? What's going on? He spit it out and looked. It was a piece of a rag. The students burst into laughter. In the end, the parents jointly reported to the Education Bureau. The higher authorities took it very seriously and set up an investigation team. They quickly found out it was true that the principal was abusing his power. He was immediately stripped of his title and sent to jail. That fat jerk, due to substandard hygiene, bribery, and forging accounts, received the maximum penalty. Later, the first thing the new principal did upon arriving was reform the cafeteria. He contracted each serving window to different vendors, letting them compete amongst themselves, relying on their own skills. He would also conduct irregular surveys, letting students vote for the window they were most dissatisfied with. If a window got voted worst twice in a row, it would be eliminated. This measure greatly improved our meals. My favorite was the Cantonese cuisine on the first floor. The prices were affordable, and the taste was excellent. The first 50 customers got a free herbal jelly dessert. The serving lady was enthusiastic and didn't shake her ladle anymore. Every time she saw me, she would even call me handsome boy. The only regret was Mr. Zhou's secret meals were no longer needed. But after this incident, our class became more united than ever. Even more than 10 years after graduation, everyone still chats in the class group from time to time. Every year, a group of people goes back to the school to find Mr. Zhou for a meal and a chat. Last year, I went back to school with the class monitor and the PE representative. Mr. Zhou said, "You guys were the bravest class I have ever taught." Now, among the younger students, there is a saying that has been passed down. After the seniors left, they renovated the cafeteria for us and improved our treatment. It wasn't because the school suddenly found its conscience, but because the seniors were once here.